Calling to order the meeting of the Susquehanna Township Board of Commissioners, regular meeting, May 8th, 2025. Would note that all commissioners are present. We did have an executive session prior to our meeting here. We discussed matters of personnel and real estate. We'll now have a pledge of allegiance followed by a moment of silence. Tonight, we could prevail on Mr. Carl Hisserell to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. We'll begin with petitions, complaints, suggestions from citizens. Does anybody wish to address the board?
I guess that would be me.
All right, you got 3 minutes. You can state your name and address and take it from
My
there.
name is Renee Mooney. I live at 3653 North 3rd Street. There's a couple of things that I need answers to or would like answers to. Maybe one of them we discussed today in the real estate meeting. First of all, we live on a public street. That area of Montrose, Jody, you're aware that it's like a pass-through these days. So the traffic is horrendous and speeding, and there's kids on the street. Second, we have a parking area, a parking issue, because there are single-family homes that have been converted to rentals who obviously don't have to have private parking or off-street parking and can have as many cars or people living there. Seem to anyway. So I would like some answers on why that is, or how we change that, or I'm the only person on my block who has a driveway that goes out to that street, and they both are dead butt against my driveway ends, which in my mind creates a huge safety issue, because when I'm pulling out, if I'm backing out especially, I can't see kids coming in strollers, on bicycles, walking their dogs. I can see none of that. So I would like some conversation to take place, or some study, or whatever it is you all do, to take care of that, because it's a safety issue, one, and it is causing huge issues in my neighborhood with confrontations and conflicts and every other thing. So that's one. I would like to find out also how property goes from being a single-family home to multifamily living, and what the regulations are on that, what they're expected to do, how they maintain their property. I've seen on more than one occasion, just in our neighborhood, that the property is horribly maintained. I spend lots of money on mine, my neighbors do the same. I don't expect my property values to be affected because I have a landlord who is an absentee landlord and taken over not taking care of this property. I'm sure none of you would like that, and I don't. So I would like some information on how that happens and what we do and what we can do to change that. If we can, possibly take some consideration into when the property is sold, taking away that grandfather's law about not having off-street parking. Both of these places have big lots. I got a guy living next to the door with me. He's got a pool. I have no doubt mosquitoes are going to be everywhere because he just lets it sit and weeds grow and water sits. It's not good. And I pay my taxes and I try to maintain my property. I expect my neighbors to do the same. And I don't know what you guys can do about it or how you do it. I know you can do things about it. I want to know what you're going to do about it. So those are my main concerns. What are the rules for property maintenance and how we change those?
Okay. Renee, could you get your information to our manager? Teresa Eberly is right there.
I've probably talked to her 1,000 times too.
Okay, so she has your information.
I'll give it to her.
But she can manage the correct personnel to reach out to you, whether it be police on a traffic study or codes in terms of, different property complaints that you're having.
Okay.
So we
So
take
that's
it
my
from there.
first step, to find out, to gain information. And then my second step is going to be, if they're not being enforced, to get them enforced. If they are being enforced, then I'm going to have to try and work with you guys to get them changed, because some of it's just completely unacceptable to me.
Well, that's why we're here. We're trying to make the community a better place to live.
Well, I hope so.
And we're serious about it, everybody up here. and certainly our staff is too.
Your
And,
staff's great.
they're great.
Don't get me
They're the
wrong,
best.
everybody I've talked to, great.
Right, especially that one, right?
I said that when I walked in, she's been amazingly helpful to every time I've called this municipal building. And I think Teresa's probably the other one I talked to that has been great. So that's why I'm here,
All right.
rather than to jump up and down, which I can do.
Well, you don't want it to go too long.
Pretty bad,
Yeah, yeah.
so.
And just so, thank you for coming here and pointing these things out so they can be properly addressed. And of course, because you're here now, we'll take the information from you. But also know that we have an app and C-Click-Fix. And I'm not trying to push you to an app, but if there's questions about whom to report items to, the app really helps get it to the right person in a quick manner. You know, you're not playing voicemail or shuffling emails. That way it goes to the app and then it's delegated to the correct staff person. But, you know, feel free to come in or call, but there's that option as well.
I appreciate that. I'm a person. Most of you up here I've met several times, so I like to talk and see who I'm talking to. So thank you very
Sure.
much for that.
And I'm gonna add to that one. So in that app too, you can actually upload pictures because evidences are really important.
Sure.
So once it's there with the pictures, then just arrive the right person.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Renee. Anybody else wish to address the board tonight? I notice we have a couple of online visitors. Augie, do you have anything? That's a ventriloquist. And there's also a Michael Lawrence up there.
Jeez.
Michael, do you want to say anything?
No, sir. Nothing from Augie.
Augie's quiet. All right, moving on. Approval minutes from our April 24th Board of Commissioner workshop meeting.
Mr. President, I'll move for approval of the April 24th, 2025 workshop meeting minutes.
Second.
And seconded by Commissioner Sanderson. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Reports of committees, Buildings and Grounds, Commissioner Rothrock.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. The only thing I have to report is our engineer is reporting that HRG received the executed contract documents on the 29th of April and is currently coordinating pre-construction meeting between the township and Kinsley Construction. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Alex.
No, I believe the pre-construction meeting is scheduled for Monday at 10 o'clock, so we'll hopefully receive a construction schedule from Kinsley on that date. I anticipate it to be a fairly quick project. So.
Okay, great. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Budget and Finance, Commissioner Sanderson.
Yes, thank you. Pension Committee recently met, and the good news is that in the previous 2 years, the investment rate of return has exceeded the assumed rate of return. For explanation purposes, calculations, we assumed the investments will return 70%, somewhere in there. And it has returned an average for the last 2 years of 12.5%, which will very much help the township's minimum municipal obligation. So that's very, very good news. And there's not much else there to report. That's within the volatility that I think we always read in the financial news. The investment advisor did not make a recommendation to make any changes. His recommendation is that we are well diversified and well invested, and wishes to keep things on the steady path. So I think that's good news long-term for the budget. Speaking of the budget, we have not set a meeting, and I know we've been quite busy with a number of issues, including staff, personnel, organize the township administratively. So I would like to work with you, Manager Eberly, to send an email out. We'll pick a day for the entire committee. And I don't know how you want to do it, by Survey Monkey or just everyone submitting. Suggested, we should probably think about that. It's May already, so maybe late May, early June. I know we talked about getting together in April, but we've had some other interruptions, so this is not a huge priority right now, but we should probably start thinking about it.
Thank you, sir. I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you. That's all, thank you.
Thank you. Public Works, Commissioner Knapp.
Yes, Mr. President. The 2025 paving project schedule is out, and the final field measurements were collected and utility quantities tabulated. The project documents have been prepared, and the 2025 paving project was advertised for public bidding on March 25th of this year, and the bid's opening schedule was for April 15th. But as a final note, Mr. President, we had 2 cost savings in-house projects performed by the Public Works Department. First job was the placement of 30 feet of stormwater pipe located at 504, behind 504 North 29th Street, which included new head walls and end walls. The second job was the placement of a 30 feet storm pipe and 1 new inlet box in the 2400 block of Bradley Drive in the 9th Ward. And by performing these projects in-house, we controlled the quantity of the work, the time, and ensured the construction cost is within project budget, which is a cost savings to the residents of Susquehanna Township. And this ends my report, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
We're saving money.
Yes, sir. All right, Health and Sanitation, Commissioner Barcheck.
Thank you, Mr. President. The next yard waste pickup scheduled by Penn Waste, it will be Saturday, the 17th of May. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Admin and Personnel, Commissioner Knapp.
Just that we have 2 openings on the website now for openings. One is HR Director and the other one is Community Development. And that ends my report, sir.
All right, thank you. Police, Commissioner Engel.
No report.
Thank you. Fire and EMS, Commissioner Hisarell.
Yes, Mr. President. Before I start, George, just a clarification on the number of emergency calls. Is that for a particular month or the first quarter?
January to April.
Oh, through 8, okay. I wanted to, okay. With that clarification, I can give my report. Rescue Fire has been dispatched to 210 emergencies through April of this year. And they did have this past weekend their spring chicken barbecue on Saturday, and it was a sellout. They would like to thank everyone who attended. Progress Fire has been dispatched 219 emergencies to date through April. And Progress, along with Harrisburg Fire Department, were honored by the governor recently for the response involving the fire at the governor's mansion. And yesterday was the kickoff meeting for the fire station project. And one other report I wanted to provide, the FEMA and federal grants, the emergency services grants that fire companies apply for, they've been frozen at the federal level, and they're in jeopardy of never returning as we know it. That can be a very, very serious issue moving forward, so we'll be monitoring that closely. And that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you. Planning and Zoning, Commissioner Rothrock.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. There was a Planning Commission meeting on the 28th of April. There were 2 items on the agenda. The first was 3801 Canterbury Road, which is in the 4th Ward. And this was a subdivision plan to split a lot into 2 lots. One lot had a house on it. That would be resulting in 0.59 acres. And then the remainder was roughly 2 acres in size. The project is located in R2 zoning district. The proposal included 2 waivers, 2 modifications, and 2 deferrals, including vacating a previously approved cul-de-sac and deferring sidewalk installation. It's a dead-end street situation there. The waivers and the plan were recommended by approval by this board, or by the Planning Commission for approval by us. The second one was a Sturbridge sketch plan, which is in the 9th Ward. This was the plan for a large-scale 718 residential development, a mix of townhouses and apartments. And it was presented for comments and guidance of the Planning Commission. Excuse me. The property is currently zoned R1, so rezoning would be required. The Planning Commission expressed concerns about traffic, the impact on schools, and also rezoning of a large undeveloped R1 tract in the township, of which there are not many more. In fact, I think this might be the largest one. So I'm not sure where that's going, but I wanted to give everybody a heads up. This is 718 unit residential development. That's in someone's mind, at least at this point. We'll see. There also was a zoning hearing board meeting last night. There were 2 items on that agenda. One was 2325 Aspen Way, which is in the 3rd Ward. They were requesting a variance to construct a home addition that encroached on the 30-year rear yard setback. This is in R2 zoning district, and that variance was granted. The second was 3201 North Progress Avenue, which is in the 4th Ward. The applicant is the Calvary Independent Church on Progress Avenue. They were requesting relief from a number of things in the zoning ordinance so they could expand their existing parking facilities. They needed one special exception, which was to expand the parking into the front setback. And they needed 4 variances for width of a one-way access drive from landscaping in the interior portions of the parking lot, for reduced width on a 2-way access drive, and also to locate an access drive within 20 feet of the property line. So it was all mostly property line issues. 4 variances and the special exception were all granted by the zoning hearing board. That concludes my report.
Thank you. School Board, Commissioner Colonna.
Yes, Mr. President. The next hearing for the earned income tax proposal in the November election will be on May 13th, 6:30 at the high school auditorium. So I'd encourage everyone to attend. Also, the next school board meeting will be on Monday, the 19th of May at 7 p.m. at the administration building. That ends my report.
All right, thank you. Authority, Commissioner Napper.
Yes, Mr. President. The replacement of the Fox Run trunk line and Forge Main project is currently out to bid effective May 6th, and the bids for this project is due on June 10th and will be awarded July 2025. Construction should begin in fall 2025. The goal of this project is to reduce sanitary sewer overflow and renew any infrastructures that have been reached their end of life. And as a final note, Mr. President, I want to remind township homeowners, the Susquehanna Township Authority has partnered with the Home Service Line Warranty Program. Many homeowners aren't aware that they are responsible for their water and sewer lines on their property. This service line warranty program will educate homeowners through direct mail, digital channels about home maintenance, repair costs, and responsibilities offered in an affordable way to protect against high costs of repair expenses. The Home Service Line program covers service plans to external water, sewer lines, and in-house plumbing and drainage plan. Homeowners will receive additional information via mail, web, social mail, and the township newsletter. This ends my report, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Next up is Shade Tree, Commissioner Cross.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. On April 25th, we had a successful Arbor Day at Covenant Christian Academy where we planted a tree there, and I just want to thank all the township staff who was a part of that. I think the children were really delighted about us being there. Our next meeting of the Shade Tree Commission is Thursday, May 15th at 4 p.m. That ends my report.
All right, thank you. Communications, Commissioner Barczyk.
I believe the newsletter will be hitting mailboxes soon, is that correct?
Next week.
Okay. So you can look for that.
All right. Thank you. Human Relations, anything there? Pam?
No, sorry, no report.
Parks and Rec, Commissioner Paloma?
Yeah, tons of things going on at Parks and Rec. This coming Saturday, between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., we'll be holding our first public open house for our 6th Park Master Plan, so I encourage everyone to attend. Also, the 25th Tour de Belt is happening on the 1st of June from 9 a.m., but obviously be there earlier. So if you haven't signed up, please sign up. And lastly, the next RAC meeting will be on the 20th at 6 p.m. here at the Township. That ends my report.
Right. Thank you. Moving on to bids and contracts. First up is the Capital Area Greenbelt Trail Repair, South Beach State Farm Road. Mr. Knaus.
Good evening, Board. Thank you. Before you this evening is a proposal to repair the western side of State Farm Road on the trail that goes through the State Hospital grounds. There's been an area that has been slowly kind of falling down the slope towards the creek. And we worked with HRG last year to come up with a repair plan for that section. And we received 2 quotes. We did reach out to 3 different contractors. One contractor refused to submit a proposal after they met us on site with no explanation. Flyway Excavating, who we work with in the Boyd Park project, came in at the lowest proposal of $15,925. We've also worked with the Capital Area Greenbelt Association through this process. They're going to contribute $5,000 towards the project as well. So we would have a cost to the township of $10,925. And subsequently, we budgeted in the 2025 budget $20,000 for the project. So we'll be saving almost $10,000, probably more like $9,000 than what we have budgeted for the project. So staff is recommending at this time to award Flyway Excavating the contract to repair the section of State Farm Road. And just logistically, there is no easy detour that we could produce for this section of the trail because where it lies, taking anyone up State Farm Road or down State Farm Road to get around it is not safe. So we're going to do workday closures. So as they're working on the trail during the day, we'll have that closed. In the evening, it'll reopen. They'll be staging their equipment on the other side of State Farm Road, closer to the Veteran Park Trail. We have a wide open area that we can store the equipment and materials, but the trail will be open back up in the evening. So through CAGA and their social media presence, as well as ours, and some signage out on site, that's how we'll notify everybody ahead of the start of the project that the trail will be closed during that time. And we anticipate about a 2-week work period, probably, for the project.
Is there a motion?
Mr. President, I'll move for approval of the contract to Flyway Excavating to repair the Greenbelt Trail on along State Farm Road.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Sanderson. Comments or questions, Mr. Knaus?
Do we have an approximate start date?
Not yet.
Okay, but when they do, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah. So after this evening, I'll be reaching out to the contractor. We'll be setting up a meeting and working out the logistics.
And about how long is the repair job? How many feet, linear feet?
I want to say it's about probably 60 feet.
Okay.
Really where it gets, it would be relatively simple just to come and cut that section of trail, but we're going to stabilize the bank as well to keep it from falling down again, hopefully in the future.
Yeah. Is there a fence on that side?
Yeah, there's a fence in that section of fence, which I don't know if anyone's noticed, one of the footers for the fencing is totally fallen away, and the fence kind of floats there. So we're going to repair the fencing as well in that section.
Good. Anybody else? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the township website upgrade proposal. Mr. Knaus?
Yeah, the township has been looking at our communication procedures and different platforms. Since last June, we met with the communications committee and kind of reviewed everything that we had. One of the things we're discovering with our current website, we're on a very old platform that was purchased by Civic Rec. It was called Towns and Schools, I think, is the old name of the platform. Civic Rec is slowly going to stop supporting that site at all, and working to move everyone to their integrated site overall. So we've talked and met with Civic Plus a number of times, went through what capabilities this website would have and the functionality, especially on the staff side, for us to update it. Right now it is fairly cumbersome, and there's a lot of things of like integration that doesn't exist. So for example, the recreation software that we have, Recreation Management, used to be called Civic Rec, right now won't communicate with our current platform as far as calendar. So like for example, we put something in our calendar in Civic Rec, I have to then go to the township website to put it on that. Now we'll be able to integrate a lot better in terms of platforms that we currently have with the new website, and just functionality overall and ability to do more with the website than what we can currently do is kind of the big features, as well as it's for ADA accessibility. Forget the name of the product, but it helps the visually impaired. So there's a button that they'll hit on their computers that will help enhance their the website if they're on it. So it helps those visually impaired, which helps with ADA compliance for our website as well, which is not currently available on our existing platform. So with all that, what they have proposed to do, and it's kind of it's fairly typical in what they do with their upgrades, is they'll basically redevelop 79 pages of our website. I don't know how many pages we have currently, but there's a lot. And one of the big things, it'll help get rid of like the ghost data that's out there. There's a lot of forms and things that are out there that have been published and maybe never unpublished properly. Because I'll get a registration form for a program from 2018. I'm like, where does this come from? Like, I can't even find it on the website. So it'll help clean up all that process. It'll approximately transfer about 100 agendas and minutes. So that's approximately 1 year that they'll transfer over to the website. Clearly, we'll still have record of all of it, but visually, it'll only be about a year until we rebuild that over time. It will also give us encryption, so we can then do our zoning, building permits, those types of forms. They can be filled out on the website and submitted electronically because they'll be encrypted. So everything's going to be secure when it gets to us. So we can get rid of the delay in delivering that type of paperwork to the township. Audio-wise, the ADA piece that I was just speaking about. It also, with the implementation price, it'll cover the first year's maintenance, and then also it'll give us a 3-hour training period for up to 12 staff to get us comfortable with the website and maintenance and everything like that. So the total investment right now is $34,000 to upgrade. Their original price that they gave us was $48,000. I kind of went back and said, let's work on this. We already have 2 products from you. We have the opportunity for more, because I know as we are developing our various departments, there may be other opportunities. So they brought that price down. Maintenance costs, which is fairly typical, will be about $21,000 a year, and that wouldn't start until 2026. Without going to other web providers, because I didn't want to get inundated with 1 million requests for demos, we did some research to kind of figure out what the cost to develop a new website with a new provider would be, and we'd be looking at about $45,000 to $75,000 to start a brand new website, which we'd have to do. They couldn't take the data from our existing website over. And the maintenance, again, would be about the same, $20,000 to $25,000 a year, depending on the company. So at this time, Township staff is recommending to continue utilizing Civic Plus and to elevate to a much stronger platform that they offer. And we have also allocated within the budget this year $30,000 for the website upgrade. So it's slightly higher, but we also included the audio eye for 88. So I know it was a lot of information. I'll answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions? Well, first of all, is there a
What
motion?
you guys can say,
Is there a motion?
so moved.
Second.
Got that? Leah?
Got it.
Recognize the voices?
I did.
I do have on the maintenance, I think the contract itself, the 34,000, is an excellent amount. I was just a little concerned of the almost $22,000 a year on an annual basis, the maintenance cost. I mean, it just seemed high to me. I was involved about 8 years ago in a nonprofit, and I actually helped put the a contract out to develop a website, and then we had maintenance and whatnot. But a lot of the maintenance, we wound up being trained, and you were talking about having training internally. A lot of the things to upkeep the website we did and what we relied on with the company we hired, they did a lot of the more nitty gritty, the things that we wouldn't get involved with, but I think it was more like on an hourly basis when we used them. I guess what I'm trying to ask is whether we've looked at the maintenance fees as carefully as we can to make sure that what we're doing is, you know, the most cost effective, and whether it'd be better to do like an hourly basis as needed versus just an annual amount that was explored. Just asking general questions on that to make sure we're doing the best we can, keeping those costs down, because that's going to be on a yearly basis.
Right. And all the research I've found with a website to this size and what we're going to be doing, we're not going to get an hourly rate for maintenance. And one of the things, and I can speak to this pretty closely, is I know Civic Plus is constantly working to update and do more with their platforms, and that's part of what that maintenance fee goes to. I know with rec management, quarterly I get a report from them of all the upgrades and enhancements they've made to that website, and things that didn't exist that now exist that we can utilize and do. So beyond the technical support side of if we get stuck with something, doing something, they're constantly working to enhance the product. And once it's enhanced, it doesn't cost us anything for that enhancement. It is something that we automatically get as a customer. So it's more than just a tech support call, if that's kind of what your concern was.
Well, let me ask you this too. With the current website, do we have an annual maintenance fee now? Yeah. What is it?
That I'd have to look up. I don't know off the top of my head.
I didn't know how we compare what we're already paying.
This is higher.
I'm sure it is, but I was curious how much.
It's higher. I'm not sure what. I'll find out and let you know. But I don't remember right off the top of my head.
You mentioned it includes 1 year maintenance as
Yeah.
part of the engagement. So the yearly should start in 2027 because we're in 2025.
Well, it would be whenever we execute and development, it would go from that point to 1 year to there. So it would
Okay.
be maybe late 2026.
So it doesn't start in January
It
1st.
wouldn't. It's the anniversary of the contract, not calendar.
Doug, thanks for your work on this. I know our website is really in need of updating because folks will contact me because they can't find something on the website. And, you know, I have to go on there and look for it, and I can understand why they can't find it. It is older, it's wonky, it's not intuitive. So this is much needed. And really do appreciate your work on this. I mean, you just pivoted from talking about construction on trails to, websites and upgrading those. So you are our Parks and Recreation Director, and you are doing this as well and doing a great job, and we appreciate that. I think the maintenance fee is well worth it. We don't have a communications person. We don't have IT staff. So, I mean, I know staff is already doing what they can, yourself and Leanne and other folks, to update the website as needed. And it's a challenge if you're not an IT person, so, or working with an older website. So $21,000, since we don't pay a salary for someone to do it, which would be much more, I think it's worth it. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Also, a follow-up. So, the encryption, would that integrate with our existing, like Microsoft 365 and all those different stuff? Like
There would be any forms that we would upload onto that site for use.
Okay. And of course, in the contract here, there's a 5% increase every year.
Yeah,
Beginning
for the
year.
maintenance side, yes.
So,
And that's
After the first year.
after the first year.
beginning year.
And that's a pretty standard. And they do block to that. They won't come back to us later and say, oh, can it be 10 this year because of whatever? No.
Okay.
Tariffs.
And I like the 34,000 is the total investment the first 12 months. There's no maintenance extra fees.
Right.
That 21,000 kicks off after the first 12 months.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I hope I won't find the 2017 documents when it's
Here's that. Any other questions before we vote? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Manager Everwood, we're gonna table this one.
Yes, sir, if we could, please. The authority had an opportunity to look at this request and tabled it until we present criteria for making similar approval. So in lieu of that, I would say let's table it and then have the authority and opportunity to take a look at it. We'll be back at the next meeting.
Do we need a motion, board approval to table?
You should.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The item is tabled. Ordinance, resolutions, et cetera. Resolution 25-R08.
Should have just stayed up here tonight.
And a couple more after this. Approving a request for Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program, GTRP grant of $250,000 from the Commonwealth Finance Authority to be used for the replacement of the Beaufort Hunt Park. Mr. Canals.
Yeah, so this is the Greenway Trail Recreation Program grant that DCED offers every year. We were successful and received this same grant that we were able to put a new playground in at Crown Point last year. So we want to go back and focus on Beaufort Hunt Playground. That is it's not probably, it is our oldest playground right now. And the current equipment that is installed is only for 2 to 5 year olds. It was never installed anything else above that other than the swings. So this project would include installation of new playground area, which would have a 2 to 12 year old structure, some additional freestanding structures, new swing set, top swing, and a ADA swing. It would also construct a new pavilion. The pavilion that's currently there is probably from the 1980s, maybe early 90s. We would also work to clean up the existing pathway that comes off of Mount Vernon to make that an ADA accessible route to an ADA parking spot near the playground area. And then also reinforce the stormwater inlet at the base of that driveway area as well. So as President Litch stated, The grant amount will be for $250,000. That's going to be our request. We'll have a 15% match, which would be $37,500, which would come out of the developer rec fund. Before you this evening is the resolution authorizing the grant application, and then also the financial commitment letter stating that the township would match at 15% of the grant application.
So,
I'll second.
Moved in second. Comments or questions?
would there be bike racks?
We can get by the recs.
Thank you.
Right answer.
For your electric bike.
Yes.
I'm not putting a charging station in for you.
That's gonna be for the next time.
Charging station.
Any other comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
You done?
I think so.
All right.
No, he's coming.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I might be back later.
Next up is request for a waiver from Stormwater Management Ordinance 19-1102, roof drains, and Manager Everly, you want to take that?
Yes, Mr. President, that's the one that we just tabled. I'm so sorry.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, can you go back to number 2, which is for the memorandum of understanding? Number 3.
Number 3.
Whoa,
That's number 3.
I'll amend my motion.
Now you can make a
Table
motion.
drawn line.
We were looking at having a memorandum of understanding with Middle Paxton Township for street sweeping, but apparently they already took care of their needs and they don't need us. So we don't need to develop the agreement.
All right, so just so I understand, we tabled that one when we should have, what?
You tabled the request for a waiver for stormwater. That's the one I was talking about.
Oh, that's
Both
where
of them
I'm
need
at.
table.
Oh, would the memorandum of understanding need table or just withdrawn since it's not needed? I mean, or is that a distinction without difference?
Same,
Yeah, if you lay it on the table and then never take it up again, it's.
same thing.
It sits there in
Yeah, we
purgatory.
did move to table that one.
Yeah.
So we need to do a motion to table the stormwater one then too, I think.
So moved.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Second. Thank you.
I'm confused.
I have to, that doesn't matter. Comments or questions?
Aye.
No comments or questions? All right. All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I can't have conversations.
Oops. I'm getting, let's withdraw. Staff reports, Township Manager.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple things. We're having an open house next week, May 13th, 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. for business owners of games of skill. We're going to provide information and education on our program and ordinance. So if you're interested in attending, we sent out notification to all of the business owners that we have on record and asked them to attend. So it's just an opportunity for us to address some of the concerns and answer questions and make sure we're all on the same page. So that's May 13th.
May 13th, you said?
Yes,
At what time?
9 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Okay, thanks.
Secondly, the STEM grant is moving along. One of the key components of the STEM grant is trying to get community involvement. So we do have these cards. You have one in front of you. If you could reach out to your neighbors and your friends, if you have a mailing list or people you talk to on a regular basis, and really try to drive people to either our website. This is also on our website, so we can get some information. It's all good questions about priorities, concerns about the township.
Will this be in the newsletter, or was this developed after the newsletter went out?
It didn't get in the newsletter.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. Okay, so we're looking for every avenue we have to get it in. Lastly, we received word that our gaming grant was approved for a total amount of $175,000, and that's to cover fire and public safety, our Public Works building.
That's great. Congratulations.
Yes, and hats off to Nan Leonard, who I think with Chief Dries prepared the gaming grant, so very nicely done. That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Public safety police. Do we have anything?
Augie's on.
Do you have anything?
I think Augie's on.
Augie's on.
Oh.
Yeah. Augie's on. I don't really have anything. Congratulations to new officers Del Cid and Alejandro Butler, who came off of their field training and are on their own now, patrolling and protecting the streets. I'd like to commend and note appreciation to our new finance manager, Tracy Eisman, who's just been great working with me with the police budget. This afternoon sent a budget report, and it looks like the police budget's tracking about $100,000, a little bit more than that, under budget right now. So I just want to thank her for taking on that work and helping me. That's all I have to report.
Thanks, Chief. Community economic development, anything on that front?
There's a few things I can call out on that. The report is included in your packet. Just to point out, so far this year, we've had a total of 48 building permits, 39 zoning permits, 100 inspections, total of 39 violations. And actually, so far this year, we've had 249 open violations and 158 resolved. So they're very, very busy. It's that time of the year. We're getting a lot of calls about high grass and other property maintenance. So that department's really busy. Also had 26 inspections for stormwater. And one of the really important things that happened is DEP issued our 5-year MS4 permit effective as of 5/1/25. And at this point, they have not added any additional PRP requirements that were previously mandated by DEP. So fingers crossed. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, anything Public Works?
Yes, thank you. Just basically a few things like that. The township staff has assisted spraying guardrails with urine this past month. Another thing we have done is we're working with Acer Paving to finalize the plan for the cost of 6th Street. Another thing I'd like to add would be township staff will be flushing or cleaning, I should say, televising projects in Edgemont area that USG did not complete. So we'll be working on that for the next probably the next 2 months, in and out, along with other stuff that they have on TV. And then I'd also like to just say that township staff has actually cleaned and inspected 59 storm inlets this past month, and they've replaced or repaired 5 of them. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Travis. Engineering, anything, Alex?
No, the board has my report.
Thank you. Solicitor, Mr. Diamond. Diamond in the rough. Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, Parks and Rec, you've had enough. You can't even hear. All right, on to consent agenda. There are 4 items, and I will summarize those. Approval of statement of bills paid for April 30th, 2025. Approve as described purchase of replacement computers for the police department and administrative department in the amount not to exceed $29,606.14. Approve permanent appointment of Officer John Pesci to the Susquehanna Township Police Department. And approve the stipulation and joint motion for agreement upon order. I won't get into all the legal details of that. You can ask the solicitor if you'd like. But this is a resolution of an appeal on the assessment for the new enclave at Elmerton. And the settlement agreed to by the county and also the school district with the moving party brings it to a taxable value of $9,400.
$9 million.
$9 million. Thank you, Carl. The stipulation and joint motion for agreed orders provided with the agenda. So the chair will entertain a motion on those, on the consent agenda.
Move to approve, second.
Engel, Sanders. Comments? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Hey, Doug.
Here he comes again.
Doug? Mr. Canal?
He's back.
I'm back.
You got my
Stand
bike,
up,
right?
sit down, walk, stand up, sit.
I'm getting my steps into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, before you is a letter of support for, Ridgeway Brethren Church. The grant application to the public-private partnership, it's called the P3, with PennDOT. They're looking for a grant to put in a sidewalk along Elmerton Avenue, that would connect to sidewalk that they already have. This is a requirement as part of their subdivision land development proposal that they put forward. They want to subdivide the property to be able to sell a house that is on their property. I believe it was the former pastor's home. So they want to sell that off and generate some revenue for the church. So before you is a letter of support for them. Basically, with the township support and for the sidewalk, as it will help us achieve our goals with the township bicycle plan and the sustainable Susquehanna 2030 comprehensive plan. This is an area that's been noted for a sidewalk to be added.
I would move to ratify this letter of support.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. Next up is the 2025 trash bid discussions. Manager Everly?
Thank you, Mr. President. Please, thank you. First, I'd like to, I have to say thank you to all the commissioners who helped put together this bid. It's a heavy lift doing a trash bid. So Commissioner Lynch, Commissioner Cross, Commissioner Robarczyk, and Commissioner Hisaro have been extremely helpful in combing through this detail. I also would have to make sure I mention Laura Miller, who subbed as the technical writer, spent a lot of hours putting together the technical, helping with the technical parts, and Leanne's now picked up where Laura left off and is helping us with all the administrative duties. So it's a team, so thank everybody for all your help in getting us where we are. So this is our first trash bid in 10 years. I'll just go over the basic components of it so that we have an opportunity to look at the detail of the entire bid in your packet. But this is the background of the bid. So as you know, Susquehanna contracted with Penn Waste about 10 years ago. The original contract was extended 5 years. In 2019, the township signed a 5-year extension, which will expire the end of this year. Thank you. So the industry has changed significantly. We've already talked about that. Penn Waste has been in here and has talked about the need for automation to improve efficiencies, the increase in rules and regulation, the struggles with hiring folks, additional worker comps claim, and just fewer recycling challenge. So in general, trash contracts are very challenging for all municipalities. when we talk about efficiencies and improving technology, one of the things that come to mind is the carts. So there are carts in front of us. The sizes are the 96, the 65, and the 35-gallon carts. That's what you're seeing out in the community, and most municipalities have gone to cart or cart-only pickups. Thank you. So this is just a chart that shows the difference between our current contract and our future contract, which is what is embedded in the bid. Right now, you can put out 4 bags or 4 32-gallon containers for trash, and we also have a recycling cart. Going forward, it'll be a cart only. It'll be one of those 3 carts in front of us. There is a low volume option now, and in our bid, we have requested haulers to bid on a low volume, which would be the small 35-gallon. And just if you think about it, I think the other one showed that the 96 holds about 8 bags, and the 64 has about 6, and the smaller one would hold 3, like kitchen size. There you go. Thank you. Bags. So that's what you're looking at. And right now, like I said, the low volume is really 1 bag, and you can buy extra bags. We're not entertaining in our bid the option to buy additional bags. It's whatever fits inside the cart. We are sticking with a bulk pickup, 1 bulk per week, and curbside recycling, yard waste, same number of days, and the Christmas tree pickup. So in essence, it's very similar, except that it's just cart driven now because of the need to have this sort of efficiency. The other thing we're finding out in the industry is they're very interested in offering, I'll just say, discounted rates if municipalities choose. Or will be open to doing the billing. So I think this time we'll see an opportunity to potentially save money if the municipality takes that on. Right now we have 7,651 regular customers. We have 1,200 low volume, which was sort of surprising. And then we have 37 exempt commercial customers. Total residential pickups over 8,500. We have 475 commercial customers, which makes this bid very attractive. And we have the annual tonnage up for waste and recyclables. Okay. We also in the bid, we have the opportunity for the haulers to provide, I'll just say, donated collection services to many of our township facilities. Okay. And we also included in the packet the existing schedule. So we're hoping our haulers will follow the same Monday through Friday schedule as we have enjoyed now. Same time, 6 to 4:30, holidays. No big changes. We had built into the bid that yard waste pickup would also be on Saturdays. We also have indicated in the packet there are areas of our community that will have to be have alley service. And the complaints will continue to be handled by our hauler. And then there's just some general collection guidelines that are pretty standard in every bid. But they can't, they have to clean up after themselves, they have to make sure their employees perform work appropriately, quietly, and orderly. Those sort of things are also included in that. I think that's it. At this time, I'd also like to share with you one thing that has been recently developed by Mary Kate Gallagher, one of our staff members. It's pretty incredible that we will also make available. Okay, he's going to pull it up. And then I'm going to see if you have any questions about the bid. we get a lot of questions like what day of the week is my service? Just all general kind of questions. So we're trying to direct more of that information on our website, and that's why it's really important that we're developing our website. So I think this day and age, people enjoy going to the website and getting their information, not calling. So this is just one of the many things that Mary Kate's developing and working on. But this is I think pretty spectacular.
Is this through the GIS system?
Yeah.
Is she talking?
Yeah. So on the left-hand side, it shows the yard waste pickups and other pickups. And then on your right-hand side, if you
Sorry, I don't want to see this share.
you can actually drill down to parcel level and find out what your scheduled pickup is. So if you kind of just pick a spot, Doug. I mean, you can see it clearly, but it also draws it, takes it all the way down to address of the property. So that's pretty neat. And we'll have that on our website. If you kind of pull out a little bit, you can see the entire township.
Doesn't have a Tuesday too.
It should have
Tuesday's right here.
all the two.
It's in the red word.
Just look at the legend.
It's blue. It's Tuesday.
Oh.
No, Tuesday's orange, sorry.
Okay.
Tuesday's red.
Yeah. So just some of the talent we have on staff. We're pretty excited about that. Thank you. So do you have any questions or anything I need to take a look at for the bid?
Just real quick, with the various locations within the township, our buildings and whatnot, this came up last week and I don't recall the answer. It just said about 4 of our parks, but we have more than 4 parks. What happens with the other parks? Do we transfer ourselves to a different location and then get picked up that way?
Correct.
Okay.
The bids will be accepted through July 9th, and we will be posting once everyone is approving it. And the mandatory pre-bid meeting will be June 10th at 1 p.m. Any questions that I can answer?
Very good. You were very generous with your praise of those that helped, but you did a lot of work on this, I know that, over
Yeah.
weekends and whatnot.
Thank you. It really takes all of us to get that done as efficiently as we did, and I couldn't have done it without all of you. I appreciate that very much. Next meeting, we'll have the official approval of the bid, so. But in the meantime, if you find anything, I know you have the packet. If you go through it and have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Teresa. Commissioner comments?
I'm gonna start. This month, May, is the Asian American and Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So to all people from these places, happy May Heritage Month. Also on May 17th, I think this is Saturday, from 6 p.m. We'll be having the Progress 32 Fire Expo Bash in the 6th Ward. So if you could come, there are prizes to be won. So we'd love to have you. Thank you.
And what is that?
The Fire Expo Bash at Progress Fire 32.
Is that like a fashion show?
No, I don't know.
Anybody else have comments?
I just have one. It's that time of year where the grass is growing. Just want to remind all our residents to make sure you cut your grass appropriately. Thank you.
All right,
Motion to adjourn.
moved in second. Bert and Ernie. Comments, all
I
in
resemble
favor?
everyone.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye.
That was lackluster. Opposed, motion carries, we are out of here.